What if the story of humanity is far older and more mysterious than we imagine? What if the roots of our civilization stretch back into a time that has been almost completely erased from memory, leaving only tantalizing clues scattered across the globe? The conventional narrative tells us civilization began just 6,000 years ago, with the rise of the first cities and written language. But what if that's only part of the story, a mere fragment of a much deeper and richer human past? I propose that an advanced civilization flourished during the last ice age, one of our own ancestors, not aliens or mythical beings, but real people whose achievements have been lost to time. They mastered engineering, astronomy, and navigation, building awe-inspiring monuments and mapping the world with a sophistication that still puzzles experts today. Their knowledge was profound, and their legacy can be glimpsed in the wonders they left behind. Then a cataclysm, perhaps a series of devastating natural disasters, wiped their world from existence, erasing almost every trace of their accomplishments. Survivors, clinging to fragments of their knowledge and culture, journeyed across continents. They became the seeds from which later civilizations would grow, passing down myths, skills, and stories that echo through history. My journey to uncover this lost chapter has taken me from submerged ruins in Japan to the high Andes, and inspired the Netflix series that seeks to bring these mysteries to light. Each discovery, each unanswered question has only deepened my conviction that we have barely scratched the surface of our true history. The show invites viewers to question the official story and consider what secrets may still lie buried, waiting for those willing to look beyond accepted boundaries. My ideas are controversial and have met fierce resistance from mainstream archaeology, sparking heated debates and challenging long-held beliefs. But science thrives on questioning, and my goal is to spark a global conversation about who we really are, where we come from, and what incredible stories may still be waiting to be discovered beneath the surface of our world. My central hypothesis is that a sophisticated civilization once flourished during the Younger Dryas, a period of abrupt and dramatic climate change that occurred over 12,000 years ago. This was an era when the world was in turmoil, with temperatures plunging and landscapes transforming almost overnight. Yet amid this chaos, I believe a remarkable culture thrived, one that has been largely forgotten by mainstream history. I argue that the sudden collapse of this civilization was triggered not by a slow natural fluctuation, but by a catastrophic comet impact. Recent discoveries in the geological record, such as layers of platinum nanodiamonds and widespread evidence of burning, are increasingly pointing to a cosmic event of unimaginable scale. This lost civilization's true advancement lay in their profound understanding of nature, the movements of the stars, and the principles of engineering. They did not possess our modern technology, but their knowledge of the world was deep, precise, and far ahead of their time. They were master mariners and skilled builders, constructing enduring stone monuments and navigating vast oceans. Through these feats, they shared their wisdom and culture across continents, leaving traces that still puzzle us today. Then came the Younger Dryas cataclysm, fire raining from the sky, devastating floods, and a shroud of darkness that swept the earth. This disaster nearly erased all traces of their existence, plunging humanity into a dark age. Only a handful survived the devastation, carrying with them fragments of their knowledge and memories as they journeyed to distant, unfamiliar lands. These survivors became known in ancient myths as the sages or shining ones, mysterious teachers who introduced agriculture, architecture, and astronomy to scattered peoples struggling to rebuild. Over countless generations, the legacy of these wise survivors seeded the rise of new civilizations, inspiring the birth of cities and the dawn of organized society. The mysterious civilizing heroes found in global myths, those who brought knowledge and order, may well be echoes of these ancient survivors, their stories passed down through the ages. Their story is woven into the foundation legends of cultures from Egypt to the Americas, linking distant peoples through shared symbols and monumental architecture. This is the lost chapter of human history, a story of resilience, ingenuity, and survival,
that I believe we must rediscover and bring back into the light.
The most tangible evidence for this lost culture is found in megalithic sites scattered across the globe, standing as silent witnesses to a forgotten era. These immense stone structures, often shrouded in mystery, challenge our understanding of ancient history and human capability. Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, dated to the end of the Younger Dryas, displays organization and astronomical knowledge far beyond what we expect from hunter-gatherers. Its massive pillars, carved with intricate symbols and animals, suggest a sophisticated culture with a deep understanding of the cosmos. I see it as a message from survivors, preserving ancient wisdom in stone for future generations. These carvings may hold clues to lost knowledge, encoded in symbols we are only beginning to decipher. The Sphinx and pyramids of Giza may be much older than believed, showing signs of water erosion from a wetter era. This evidence hints at a timeline that stretches back far beyond conventional history, suggesting these monuments have survived cataclysmic changes. In Peru, sites like Sacsayhuaman feature stonework so precise it challenges modern engineering. The interlocking stones fit together without mortar, resisting earthquakes and the passage of time, leaving us to wonder about the technology and knowledge required to build them. Often these ancient foundations support later, cruder constructions, suggesting two distinct building periods. This pattern repeats worldwide, hinting at a legacy inherited and built upon by later civilizations. Across the globe, from Karnak to Yonaguni, we find monuments aligned with astronomical precision. These alignments reveal a shared fascination with the stars and the cycles of the heavens, connecting distant cultures through a common purpose. These were not isolated achievements, but part of a global network, a sacred geography that spanned continents. The similarities in construction and purpose suggest a level of communication or shared knowledge that defies explanation. They served as observatories, calendars, and repositories of knowledge, built to endure millennia. These sites were designed to track celestial events, mark the passage of time, and perhaps even warn of future catastrophes. These sites are the fingerprints of a lost civilization, their stories etched in stone and waiting to be uncovered. Decoding their message is the key to understanding our forgotten past and may reveal truths about humanity's origins that have long been hidden from view. The Americas are central to this mystery. The discovery of ancient footprints at White Sands, New Mexico, proves humans were here over 20,000 years ago, far earlier than once thought. Sites like Chaco Canyon show astronomical sophistication, possibly echoing knowledge from a deeper past. In the Amazon, LiDAR reveals vast ancient cities and earthworks, challenging the idea that complex societies couldn't thrive there. My theory predicts survivors of the cataclysm would bring their knowledge to diverse environments. From Olmec Heads to Nazca Lines and Easter Island's Moai, the Americas are filled with enigmatic clues. Easter Island's oral traditions speak of ancestors from a sunken homeland, stories that may preserve real memories of survival and loss. These are not just myths, but fragments of a global pattern. The Americas hold vital keys to the lost civilization's legacy. One of the strongest clues for a global cataclysm comes from mythology. Over 500 cultures share stories of a great flood, detailed, terrifying accounts of a world-destroying deluge. These myths, from Noah's Ark to the Epic of Gilgamesh, are too similar and widespread to be coincidence. Mainstream explanations fall short. Why would landlocked cultures have flood myths? I believe these are distorted memories of the Younger Dryas cataclysm, when melting ice sheets unleashed unimaginable floods. Survivors preserved not just the memory of disaster, but a moral lesson. The flood as punishment for humanity's arrogance. The myths became warnings and guides for rebuilding a better world. They are sacred memories of an apocalypse that nearly erased us. My theories face strong opposition from mainstream archaeology, which labels them pseudoscience. Critics argue there's not enough physical evidence, no tools, pottery, or settlements from a lost civilization. They see similarities between ancient sites as independent invention, not proof of global contact. Some accuse my work of undermining indigenous achievements, echoing colonialist ideas. I reject this charge. My theory celebrates a shared human ancestry. Resistance from academia often stems from reluctance to challenge established paradigms. Science can be dogmatic, with careers built on defending the status quo. Considering my theory would require rewriting history books, a daunting prospect. But true scientific inquiry demands openness to new possibilities. Filming brought these tensions to the surface. Our team sought permits to film in sacred Native American sites, like the Grand Canyon and Chaco Canyon, but faced strong objections from tribal leaders. They argued the show misrepresented their history and disrespected their oral traditions. We listened and withdrew our permit applications, choosing to film elsewhere. This experience highlighted the divide between Western science and indigenous perspectives. For indigenous peoples, these sites are living parts of their identity, not just archaeological data. My intention is to honor oral traditions as valid historical sources, not dismiss them. Science has too often ignored these voices. True investigation must include and respect the descendants of those who created these sites. Collaboration and dialogue are essential for understanding our shared past. Despite criticism, my goal remains to challenge dogma and open debate about our origins. Archaeology can be resistant to new ideas, often forcing new evidence into old models. Is speculative by design, meant to spark curiosity and independent thinking. We fact-check our data, but our interpretations differ from the mainstream. I reject accusations of racism. My theory celebrates a shared human story, not a Eurocentric one. By taking indigenous traditions seriously, I give them respect mainstream science often denies. The show's popularity proves people crave open discussion about our past. My mission is to keep inquiry alive and keep searching for the truth. The debate over is about more than one theory. It's about who we are as a species. Are we the product of a short, simple history, or a long, cyclical saga of rise and fall? Mainstream archaeology warns against pseudoscience, but new evidence and ancient myths hint at a forgotten epoch. The search for proof continues. Can we reconcile science with indigenous traditions and find the lost civilization's traces? As we face our own challenges, the story of a brilliant society lost to cataclysm is a humbling lesson. The quest for our origins is both personal and collective, urging us to question, explore, and remain open to mystery. The search continues. The secrets of our ancient past still await discovery.